So good evening, everyone. Good to see you again. You're welcome to the last of Money Smart Beginners Program. I've had an amazing time. I've learned so much, and I'm sure you've learned a lot as well. Well, this is the third and the last session, and I'm sure today is also packed with a lot of information, things, something new that for you to take away. Before we start, just to announce that please switch off your camera and mute your microphone. Please, it's important that you do that for us. I've explained to you, we like to see your faces, but of course we're recording. We wouldn't want to be recording other people's faces. So please switch off your camera and mute your microphone. I would like also if you could go to Slido for me. I'm going to type that in. I'd like to have your feedback in terms of what you like so much about this program and what you would like for us to also include. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to go to Slido to do that. Also to mention that today we're going to have the following: Crystal, Maduka, Mike, Davina, Amma, and Angela. They're going to present their Michael Carroll's summary. Now, please, if you could go quickly to, okay, all right, then Amma, that's fine. Amma can present, but we would have Crystal, Davina, and Angela if they're online. But shortly, could you please quickly go to slido.com and fill in the survey for me, please. Slido.com, and the event code is Money Smart, all in capital letter. If you could do that for me quickly. 1 minute, and then we will start. So you don't need to log out, just fill that. If you could do that quickly, and then we'll continue. I'll hand you over to your host. Thank you. I could see some of you are there already. Thank you. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you very much. A few of you have been there, and I think we're just going to start. My name is Titi Omole, as you know. I'm the founder of Cause for Children Limited, the company that is bringing this event, this training to you. I'm hoping that you have a lovely time today. The facilitator, Mr. Jide Yanwura, has been taking these sessions, and I'm going to hand over to him to take the concluding part of the session. Over to you, Mr. Yanwura.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? If you can, a couple of people can just say yes, you can hear me, so I know that my microphone is audible. All right, thank you, Emma. Okay, thanks everyone. Okay, we did have 4 people, but now we have 3 people. Is Crystal able to present very quickly? Crystal, are you there? Crystal Maduka? No? Okay. Do we have Davina Dairo? Can you just send me a message? Yes, no, you're not there. Okay. Doesn't look like they're here yet. How about Amma Adu? Is Amma here?
When it comes to money, it is a value that can be worth a lot, but it can be easily lost when it is not carefully used. For example, Michael Carroll, when he lost all his money by partying, buying jewelry, having expensive cars and gifts in a short amount of time. And he ended up being in debt, forcing him to go back to his previous job. And others like Lee Ryan, who had 9.5 million, who lost everything and ended up homeless for 2 years because
Yeah.
he didn't manage his money well.
Yeah.
Also learned that you must be wise when it comes to money because it doesn't come easy in life. So have to save or invest some before you carelessly spend it all. Money must be spent in the correct form of matter, and it is good to have wisdom when it comes to spending money.
Thank you so much. That's very apt, Angela. Thank you.
Crystal.
Okay, Crystal, go on quickly.
Learning identified from the story of Michael Carroll is the importance of being wise with money. This includes thinking about your action and its consequences. For example, Michael needed to be cautious of his actions, as on 2 occasions he was seen doing dangerous and illegal things, which caused him to spend some time in prison or ruin his reputation, such as receiving a criminal record. I believe this is important because some of the actions that Michael did led him to have the same job he started with. For instance, in 2006, the BBC reported that he was almost broke after spending a fortune on new homes, drugs, parties, and jewelry and cars. And this is important as he didn't watch on what he was spending.
Okay. Money. Remember all of last 2 weeks that we've been together. Excuse me, that we've been together. We said that all of how you spend money is tied to your character and your thinking. So it really just sets the scene for what we're going to go through today. So thank you so much to everyone that sort of presented. So today we have quite a lot to go through, and I do want to give you a bit of time at the end to ask some questions on anything that you're not clear about. So time-wise, it's going to be quite challenging. But if there's anything that you want to that you're not clear about, please put something in the chat, and I'll come back to that very quickly. Okay, so let's start. Let me do a summary of what we have covered so far. We spoke in the past about habits, paradigm, relationship with money, if you remember. We also touched on financial literacy. We said that financial literacy is defined as the possession of knowledge and skills that enable informed and effective money management. We touched on financial literacy as broken down into 2 areas, knowledge and skill, okay? And we also touched on how you make money. The whole essence of making money is going to work or investing. When you do make that money, you must also think about how you grow the money and how you keep the money. So in terms of growing money, what we talked about is invest the money. We touched on the essence of compounding, interest rate. We touched on yield, if you remember, and how you grow it. That's effectively how you grow your money. Compounding is essentially leaving your interests in there so that your interest earns interest, and over a period of time, you suddenly find that the amount of money that you're making is far more, and it grows far quicker than if you were spending the interest. Then keeping money is very much down to your attitude. You're thinking about what comes in must be a lot more than what goes out. So the story of Michael Carroll, as all of you have sort of learned, it's not really about the fact that he made money. It's not about he grew money because he had advisors who helped him to invest money, but he just didn't have the right attitude to keep money. So a lot of what I'm going to go through with you today is going to touch on one of the things that you all asked me to talk about, which is, how to support your vision for a decent adulthood. So one thing that I wanted to touch on first is that you have to define for yourself what vision, what picture you have of yourself as to when you become an adult, okay? Such that you grow up to be an adult that even you yourself will be proud of. So in effect, you have to sit down at some point and define what success is. Who do I want to become? That's what I'm going to go through with you today. We're going to touch once or twice on money, but I really do feel that what you asked me to touch on today is really about, the vision for a decent adulthood. So let's start. If you don't understand anything or you want me to clarify anything, please, do ask me to stop. So the first thing about creating a vision, you hear that word a lot. Vision, vision, vision. Actually, what is a vision? Anyone want to define a vision for me in the chat? What is a vision? Yeah. And everyone please mute themselves. There's a lot of noise. Okay. So Davina says a goal that is set. Anyone else? What is a vision? A vision is a dream. Okay. Anyone else? Very quickly, the last one. A vision is a goal that you want to achieve. Thank you. So if I take the three definitions that you've given me there, I can see a thread, goal, set, vision, dream, achieve. So I put everything together. Basically, it is, if you can shut your eyes at some point in your life, maybe if you can do that today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month, if you can shut your eyes and say to yourself, actually, this is what I see myself becoming, that becomes a very powerful vision, okay? That becomes something to say to yourself, I want to become an engineer. I want to become a doctor. So you can see yourself actually wearing a doctor's coat and having the stethoscope. You can see yourself as a lawyer sitting down and taking brief. Yeah. You can see yourself, becoming an accountant, sitting down. You can see yourself as a business person, as an entrepreneur. That is a vision. A vision is basically a set of ideas or goals that you can see yourself wanting to achieve. You may not know how to get there first. You may not know how or when you're going to get there, but actually first have the vision. The next step, which I'm going to go through, is how you plan to get into that vision. Okay. So how do you get there? Basically, okay. So the first thing is, I think something is holding back my screen. Okay, I've got it. So you're going to find out in life that more and more of the friends that you have or the people that you relate with are not going to grow at the same rate as you. Okay, even the people that you went to school with, you're going to find that either you are way ahead of them or sometimes you are at the same level. So everyone needs to define what success means to them. Everyone needs to define their own race. One of the biggest things that I find that brings frustration into people's lives, and I need to share this with you as young people who are growing into adulthood, is do not run on other people's lane. Define your own lane, define what is your own vision, define your own goals, and stick with it. It might change with time, but don't say, oh, because look at the person that I went to school with, they're driving, a BMW, they're driving a Mercedes. I also must drive a Mercedes. Everyone has their own goals, they have their own vision, and how you're going to articulate yours and how you're going to get to yours will be different. So that's one of the things I really want you to get your heads around. Okay, so can you tell me in the chat, what are the things that you are doing now as a youth, as a young person, that you are not going to do when you're an adult? Maybe just two things. Anybody? The things that you're doing now as a young person that as an adult will be unacceptable. Okay, GCSE, that's more of an exam. Playing games, okay. A couple more. School, okay. Hopefully, let me tell you one thing about school. School, I like that, Angela. I'm messing around. That's really very important. School is, you never stop learning. Okay, so education is different from school, and I'll explain that later. Wasting time on unnecessary things. Thank you so much for that, Davina and Angela. And tell me the things that once you become an adult, you're going to be doing that you would say to yourself, I couldn't do that when I was a young person. As an adult, the things that you know that we're going to start doing, buying toys. Okay, thank you, Davina. Being accountable, saving money. Anything else, anybody? Okay, let me move on for the sake of time. So, multitasking. Thank you. As an adult, you will have to take responsibilities. Okay, you will have to develop the right judgment. Davina, you're right, working hard. Okay, as an adult, responsibilities. Let me explain something to you. You know, a lot of people who are on this channel right now, you are between the ages of 13 and maybe 18. There might be one or two people who are just approaching 20 on this call. But you know, even in the eyes of the law, there's an age range where you are regarded as a minor, and there's a certain age where they begin to treat you as an adult. I think from about 16, 17, 18, whatever you do, you start becoming accountable and responsible for. So you need to be very, very careful, the friends that you keep. So certain things that if you went out, for example, I was sharing with my children the other day that if you go out at a certain age and some of the people that you went out with committed a crime, you can be seen as minors, and therefore criminal record, you will be wiped out when you get to a certain age. But actually, when you get to a certain age, it does not matter. It really doesn't matter. If whether you know or you don't know, if you commit an offense, that record will stay, that thing will stay on your record for life. So that is the distinguishing factor between being a young person or a minor and when you grow old. When you grow to become an adult, you have to take responsibility, you have to develop the right judgment, and you have to be accountable. Thank you. So, therefore, I want to say to you, enjoy your youth. Don't be too much in a hurry to grow into an adult. Trust me. Enjoy your youth. You know, have good friends. Listen to your parents. Find people that you can listen to. Learn and be educated. Okay. So let's go on to choosing a career. And I've had a lot of people ask me questions. What's the right career that I should go into? I enjoy doing certain things. Is that right career path for me? Let me make this very, very clear. And I hope that you will really take this to heart. There's a big difference between what is a hobby and what is a career. A lot of people enjoy doing certain things. And just because you enjoy doing that thing does not mean it will become a career, okay? Your career must sustain you and your family. Let me give you an example. If you enjoy, for example, let's say, somebody give me something that is a hobby to you. Anybody have a hobby? Anyone? Singing. Thank you. So, or coding, football. So if dancing, coding, football is a hobby, you really enjoy doing it. Yeah, you can do it to your pastime. If you want to move from being a dancer as a hobby to being dancing as a career, you have to sit down and ask yourself the question: am I doing it just because I enjoy dancing, or am I doing it because I understand that this dancing, I'm going to be so good at it that I can create the opportunity that it will sustain both myself and my family in terms of income, in terms of looking after my family. It's very, very important. That is, please understand this as young people. That is one of the things I've seen that leads to a lot of frustration for people who are adults now, because they didn't understand the difference between what is a hobby that they really enjoy doing and what is a career. They move from their hobby and taking that hobby into becoming a career without understanding what some of the things and the challenges of the hobby would become if they transmitted it into becoming a career. Please, please, please open your eyes and think very hard. Sit down with a mentor, sit down with your parents, sit down with people who are in that field, who are already practicing that thing, and let them explain to you what the opportunities and the disadvantages of being in that field is before you make up your mind. Okay, so, and I say here, a hobby is an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure, okay? Whereas a career is an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life and with opportunities for progress. So if you are doing something as a hobby, please bear in mind that if you cannot do it significantly over a period of time, and you cannot see progress and opportunities in what it is that you're doing as a hobby, you may want to reconsider whether you want to take that hobby into becoming a career. Okay, right. So once you've chosen and you've understood that maybe you want to be a lawyer, or you want to be a banker, you want to be an accountant, or you want to be a computer engineer, you must understand what I call the moving parts in the industry that you have chosen. What do I mean by moving parts? If you become a banker, you must start to keep your eyes on the changing landscape in banking. What does that mean? Banking, the way banking was 5 years, 10 years ago, is not the way that banking is today. So you see that everything is being underpinned by technology now. Banking is moving online. Everything is being done on the app. They are discouraging people from going into the branches. So if you have built your career, your mind or mindset on being a banker with the intention of, putting on a tie and a suit, going to the office and trying, and doing all of that is shattered because now they've moved almost all of banking online. So think about the things that are moving. Once you maybe you become a sports person, become an engineer, want to become an accountant. What are the things that can change in this industry? Again, the best way to think about it and to achieve that, sit with somebody who's in that industry. Understand how the industry is moving. Do research. Go online. You can see career progression and path. See what what an accountant or accountancy will become in the next 10, 15 years. See the things that will change in accountancy. See how technology will change. See how artificial intelligence is going to change your industry. So be very, very careful before you move and decide on a career. Okay, so these are the things that I feel, the questions you need to ask yourself before you actually decide on, is this the right career path for me? What will bring the most joy and meaning to my life? Who do I see myself becoming? What will bring meaning and joy to my life? What do you feel like you are called to do as a person? What do you want those who know you to say about you and your life? Okay, so who do you want in your social circle? Okay, what legacy do you want to leave for yourself, your family, for your community? So for example, if you want to be a banker, what kind of banker do you want to be? If you want to be a lawyer, are you going to do pro bono work? Are you going to be very aggressive in commercial law? And what are you going to do to give back to the young people, to give back to community? Okay, how do you want to transform the course of human history? Ultimately, what would a successful you look like? So if you shut your eyes and say, my name is Katie Dauda, my name is Crystal Maduka, my name is Adonai Chinyama, what would an Adonai or Crystal, a successful Adonai, look like when they're 40? You have to think like that. I know it's a hard thing to do. And you have to, if you start from that point and say, when I'm 40, this is what success means for me, then you can walk backwards and say, okay, as a successful Angela Oluwa, yeah, I would have done so this is how much money I need. This is, and that is how you articulate vision. Okay, what would it mean for you to say that you succeeded? And when you sit down to plan that and to think like that, please do not look at other people's clock or watch in doing that. Please do not look at what other people have designed for themselves. Be the best of you that you can be. Okay, so it takes me on to the next one, which is around how you use your time efficiently. A lot of what we've done in the last 2 weeks, we talked about money, we talked about, now we're talking about career, investments, and all of that stuff. Can you tell me if you can make more money? Anybody? If you lose money, can you make money? Can you recover when you make money? Anybody? Yes, you can. Okay. Angela says no. Angela, why can't you recover if you lose money? Yes. The reality of it is, if you lose money, you can recover money. If you lose a house, you can recover a house. Okay. Can you tell me, if you lose time, can you create more time? If you lose time, can you create more time? No. Anybody else? No. And that is because God has given every human being a set amount of time to utilize in a 24-hour time frame. And only God knows how long we are all going to last on this earth. So please, you have no more time. I know that we're all thinking that we're very young, we're 13, we're 14. And actually, when Mrs. Omoli asked me to do this thing, I said to her that, look, I wish I'd learned the things that I know now. I wish I'd learned them, do in your own age time, because I would have used time far more effectively. and efficiently. So please, you have no more time to waste. You cannot make any more of time. Do not waste time. If you do, that means you're wasting your life. So please plan to succeed. What do I mean by that? It says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So your attitude and right thinking is so important. You are only an attitude away from success. That's John Maxwell. When you think you can, you're right. When you think you can't, you're right. What am I trying to say? You have to have the right mindset. Just because something is hard to do or to achieve does not mean that you cannot do it. Okay? So use your time efficiently and effectively to plan, to think about how you're going to achieve something so that you can have the right mindset that you can break and achieve something, not because something is going to hold you back. Okay, so I've said all of what I've said to come to one thing, which is you should never see yourself as a failure in anything you do. There will be setbacks. Even as young people, maybe some people had their GCSE exams, some have had their A-level exam results, and some did very, very well, fantastically well. Some didn't quite, get what they wanted. It's called a setback. Okay, it's not failure. A couple of people have, I've just given them there. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. So even in life, as you move along your career path, as you move in making money, as you move in investing, trust me, especially in investment, you will lose money. But the right mindset is not short term, it is medium to long term. Remember I said that to you last week. Medium to long term mindset means along the way you are going to lose money. Any investment plan or any investment person that speaks to you, they always say that your investment money that you invested may go up or go down. Okay, and they tell you have a medium to long term mindset to investment. That is because the market goes up and it goes down. Okay, so it's not a failure. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. That's Albert Einstein. You have to understand that even in this COVID period, there are a lot of people making money. So always look for a positive where the negative is. Don't have a negative mindset. Remember we talked about the paradigm mindset the first week. They don't take black people in this job. I'm the only girl. I'm the only female. This particular industry is so hard to get into. I don't think I'll succeed. Just change that dynamics, change that mindset. Okay. It says, the successful man or woman will profit from his mistakes and try again in a different way. Never let yourself be brought down by just the thinking. Wake up in the morning and look yourself in the mirror and say, I will succeed. I will become. I can do this. I can achieve. Okay? Even when everyone is saying that you can't, be the only one that says to yourself, you know what? I'm going to put them on and I'm going to achieve. So I said this, pursuit. If you have a dream that even it's only you that truly believes in that dream, so long as you have looked at the risks of implementation, so long as you start with somebody who's a mentor, so long as you've looked and start with maybe a parent or somebody who's older than you, and you've looked through it, if you believe very strongly in that dream, okay, pursue that dream. All of you on this talk now, you've heard of Disneyland. Disneyland was a dream in somebody's heart. It was a dream that somebody just woke up and thought, you know what, I'm going to build this fairyland. And if you go and read the story of Walt Disney, when he presented that dream to so many people, they say you are just a mad person, you are crazy. This is not. Do you know how much land you're going to need? Do you know how much money you're going to need? Do you know how many people you're going to need? And they gave you every reason not to pursue that dream. Millions of people have visited Disneyland, and you have Disney in Paris, Disney in Orlando, Disney in. So what I'm trying to say to you is, just sometimes, it is the courage to pursue your dream, to not let go. Even as a young person, you've got to think to yourself, what is that one thing that is always ringing true in my mind? There's just one thing that when I go to bed, I think about that thing. I think I can do this thing. And you know yourself. there is something that you just feel that you're so restless in your mind that you want to do this thing. Please always speak to your parents about it and ask them to encourage you. Okay, you want to be the best swimmer the world has ever seen, the best footballer. Something in your mind tells you you're so good, you're better than somebody else. Go for it. Okay, and I'll say to you, planning is very good. But one thing I've found, please do not become people who become paralyzed by planning. I've known so many people who shared some plans and some ideas with me 10 years ago, and I'm not saying that they haven't done well, but they shared plans with me, I kid you not, 10 years ago. And almost every year I ask them, how far with this plan? What have you done about it? Oh, bros, I'm still planning. Oh, bros, I'm planning. Oh, bros, I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting. Please start with what you have and start with where you are. As a young person, I couldn't give you a better advice than that in life. Don't always think that you have to have everything to start. If you're going to start with, and God has blessed you with the gift of making cakes, making bread, making shoes, designing this, designing that, start with what you have. Do one, show it to the world. Let people say, oh, I can make the second one, make the third one. You'll become better with time. Never say, oh, I have to have a machine, I have to have somewhere, I have a bigger place, I have to. No, start with the small that you have, and God will help you to grow it. Don't become a planner, become a doer. I said something to you, to myself, that I if I had known about for a long time. There's something I always say to myself. It's called take action. So every time I get to the point where I have planned, I always say to myself, at what point am I going to take action? Whether the plan is 100% or not, at that point, I will take action. I will make that decision to say, I'm going to step out. I'm going to make this. I'm going to do it. So don't just be a fantastic planner. And trust me, there's a lot of people who have very good dreams. There are people who are beautiful authors on this. You can write very well. You can do, even you hear is saying that the cemetery is full of massive golds and diamonds that were never mined. Why? Because people had beautiful dreams that they never actually actualized, and they didn't do them, and they died. Try as much as possible, even as young people. Don't die with your dreams. Do you understand? Go and find an avenue. Find somebody who can help you to pursue and implement that dream. Don't just sit on planning and thinking. Okay? Right. So, I'm going to leave you with this that says, be the best there is of you. And I put the you there in color because I want you, I hope and I pray that you don't become a copycat. When the water is going on the stream, mostly it's going in the same direction. But you always find one that just goes in the opposite direction. That is the one that is always noticed. When everybody is doing something the same way, and you just become part of the crowd, you're just following and just doing the same thing that they are doing. Nobody notices you. I'm not saying that you should be a rebel. I'm saying when something is happening, just take a step back and think: is there a different way that I can do this thing? Is there another way of doing this thing? Think of Tesla. How many people on this have heard of Tesla? Elon Musk? Anybody? Anybody heard of Elon Musk? You have. Nifemi. Anybody else? Okay, Davina. For a very long time, people said it was impossible to create a vehicle that will run on battery for any more than 50 kilometers. Now, Elon Musk is renowned globally for creating Tesla, which is a vehicle that can run for more than 380 kilometers. That is phenomenal. What he has also done is he has now gone and used the same technology on SpaceX, which is moving mankind into space. What I'm trying to say to you is, just because somebody says it's not possible, just take your time. Go and read the biographies of the people who have, like, your Richard Bransons and your Michael Jordans. Don't just be people who are completely transfixed on your iPhones and your iPads, and all you do is just the social media and influencers. please just take some time to read biographies. Take some time to watch, even if you don't want to read, watch the biography of greats like Elon Musk, like Virgin, the Virgin guy. Just go and read, and because those things will hopefully encourage you to swim, swim against the tide, but not in the wrong direction. That's two different things. If you swim, if everybody else says it's not possible, but you believe in your mind that it is possible, it means that you are swimming against the tide, but in the right direction. Don't just say no just because you want to stand out. Say no when you are sure that actually, you know what, I'm convinced in my mind that I can do this thing better. Then do what I call a prototype. Sit in your room and ruminate. Just think more about this thing. Think more about the problem. That's why I said the biggest secret to success is find a problem and find how you will solve it. Those are the people who break the ground. Those are the people who become successful. Elon Musk knew that there was a problem. What was the problem? The world cannot succeed and survive on fossil fuel forever. You can't do diesel and petrol forever. We have to move into cleaner energy. That is the problem. So one thing you have to know in your mind is define the problem. Write it down. This is the problem. The problem is I want to solve, I want to do this, I want to do that. Then on the other hand, what is the solution? Begin to write the things you can do, to find solution to it. Trust me, just going through that exercise, that process alone will help you find some solutions to some big problems. Okay. Carve out a niche for yourself, which means try and be different as much as you can. Okay. Have a plan. The biggest secret I've just told you is find out someone's problems and find a solution. There's nobody other than a mad person that has a problem and sees somebody that wants to help them find a solution to it and says, I don't want you. Okay. If any of you are aware of the story in the Bible where the king was very unhappy and had a dream and was looking for someone to interpret, and they went and called Joseph, and Joseph was able to then interpret the dream. In everything you do, if you are a solution to somebody's problem, you're a blessing. And when you learn how the secret of doing it so well, that is the secret to becoming wealthy and successful. Okay. If you can't say anything nice, please keep quiet. What do I mean by that? Don't always be somebody that just wants to talk for the sake of wanting to talk. If you're in a gathering, learn how to comport yourself. Learn how to just keep quiet without necessarily seek first to understand, then be understood. What do I mean by that? Let everybody speak. Be sure that you have understood what the problem is before you open your mouth and offer your own. And it's not in every gathering that you have to speak. I'm teaching you lifelong skills that hopefully will help you in life. It's not every time that you have to speak. Better to keep your mouth shut than open your mouth and confirm yourself as an idiot. Do you understand? So please seek first to understand what everyone is saying, understand what direction, what is happening, what the problem is. Then offer a solution only if you have a word to speak. Okay. Improve yourself continually. Keep abreast of the trends in your industry. I'm going to say to you, even personally, I think my kids are on this, my children are on this platform. I spend no less than, I'd say, 10 hours a week, and that's a lot. 10 hours a week, keeping abreast of my industry, doing some new courses, trying to find out information about what I'm trying to do, because I have to. That's the only way I better myself and to keep myself relevant. Okay. Always ask yourself a question. Could I have done it better? Is there anything I could have done better? So the time is 4:42. I'm going to ask a question. Do you want to take a short break, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and come back? There's a lot that we've been through, because I want to give you the opportunity to ask questions at the end. Okay, so we're going to take a break. It's 10:42. So we're going to all come back at 10:40. Let's all come back at 10:48. So we'll take 6 minutes break. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, 10:47. Earlier on, I said that let me just go back to this slide because it's a very important slide. The biggest secret to success is find a problem and find solution to it. Now, when I was talking about the career bit, one of the things I kind of skipped, but I think it's actually quite important, is for young people, sometimes the path to the career that you really want isn't quite straightforward. And one thing that I've advised people to do sometimes is to use what I call volunteering or internship to get to where they want to get to. So what you can do, for example, is you can say that, let's assume you want to become a banker, or you want to be a technology person within the banking industry, or you want to learn more about, or you want to be a dentist, for example. What you can do is, even when you don't have the qualifications yet to becoming a dentist, what you can do is find a dental practice and seek to volunteer there. Maybe a couple of hours a week, maybe during your holidays or whatever. Because what it does is it really shows potential employers that you are enthusiastic about the industry and that you are proactive in seeking opportunity. So if you find areas where they can let you come in a couple of hours a week, and that is how you get your feet onto the ladder for some of those industries. In the entertainment industry, like the movie industry, like also if you want to get into broadcasting and some of those places like that, easier to find a place where you can volunteer, have the experience, even if it's not paid, and then easy, you can move into that industry. Okay, so I'm going on to a quick summary now. It's been a very, we have 10 minutes left or thereabouts. So I just want to summarize. I want to give you a bit more time towards the end to ask me any question. So quick summary. In the last 3 weeks, we said that money is important, but I've said that it is more important that you have the right attitude to money. Develop the right thinking about making money, growing money, and managing money. Choose your career carefully. Okay, differentiate between a hobby and a career. Don't just be a good planner, learn to be a good doer, okay? Remember, success is not only about money. You have to define what success means to you. So don't always think, if they ask you, I want to be rich, what does being rich mean to you? What does success mean to you? To me, even at 53, I know exactly what success means. I know exactly what enough means to me. I know exactly what, I'm not complacent, and I know what contentment means. So I know what I have to say that I'm a content person. If I don't have it, I know I have to strive to that goal. But once I've got that, I can relax. I don't have to then offer my time to make more money. I can then use my time to do other things, spend my time with my family, do more enjoyable things, do more things for charity, and so on and so forth. So thank you, everyone. It's 4:52. It's been a wonderful time. Before I hand over, I just want to ask if there's any questions that you want to ask me from the 3 weeks that we've done, from making money, from being, attitude and habits, and from choosing the right career and developing the right adulthood. Please feel free to ask me on the chat, and I'll answer you now. Thank your parents for allowing you to come on here. Specifically, say to them that I say thank you to them, and I appreciate them as well. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to pass it over to Mrs. Omole now, who is going to let me share the slide. I think she has a slide on the feedback that she wants to speak to.